Hey everyone, welcome to another Pixel Geek live stream. How y'all doing? My volume good? Test, test. Yeah, we're good? All right. Hi. How's your weekend doing so far? Thank you so much for being here. As always, I'm very, very thankful and grateful for people who are in the live chat, or if you can't make it to the live chat because we're all in different parts of the world, thank you for watching this recording. Let's see who's in the door first. Timothy, already with the $10 donation. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. You're saying, Nelson, what's up, brother? I have a question. Yeah, so when it comes to questions, Colleen, my wonderful volunteer producer, is helping me out by adding your questions to our Google Doc, and I will get to questions at the end of the stream, okay? Um, but yeah, thank you so much for the donation. Who else? Colleen obviously is here. Thank you so much for modding the stream. Pablo is here. Sarah No Socks is here. Natalia is back. Um, awesome. Thank you all so much. So let's just get right into it. Um, and yeah, if you're just lurking in the live chat and don't like to talk, that's totally fine. I get it. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope this stream is valuable to you. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Pixel Geek community. My name is Nelson, and I stream every Saturday at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific time on this YouTube channel. So if you want, notifications to show up whenever I go live or whenever I post a new video to help you learn more things about the no code world, yeah, hit the subscribe button. So morning announcements. Here we go. So, yeah, the pixelgeek.community website, it's still open and a lot of people have joined. Thank you so much to over 270 members. Amazing. Over 270 members, and the chat board, which we use Circle.so for, is running super smoothly and people are getting help. So if you want help with your projects or your business, or you just want to chat it up with the rest of the Pixel Geek community in between our live streams, head over to pixelgeek.community, sign up for a free account, or if you want to support the community, there's also two paid tiers, and you can read more about what you get with those. Um, yeah. So what am I working on right now on the Pixel Geek community? So let me go to my camera, or sorry, my Mac. Yeah, public profiles. It's not a new thing around the web, public profiles, but um the Pixel Geek community public profiles is what I'm trying to do something different for the no code community. It's going to be a way for you to obviously show off who you are, but this intro video, I'm putting so much emphasis on video. If you couldn't already tell by all the things I'm doing on the community website, yeah, video. It's so important that we put the human face, the human voice back onto the internet. Something that's real, something that's unedited, something that like I like to do is like I like to be honest and I like to be empathetic, and so I'm trying to lead this community in that way. So public profiles are going to look like this: a big space for your intro video to speak about yourself, why you like web design, why you like the no code world, and then you'll have four tabs. One, a written version of your intro, and then some skills that you have, projects, and so projects that you submitted to the Pixel Geek community, but you've also built. So yeah, I didn't build all of these projects. I still need to fix it, but projects that you have built that you want to show off will show up here. And if you do any tutorials, which is good, they will show up here as well. You want to show that when you it's weird in this world. Like, I don't think of myself as a master. I just think of myself as a fan, but people call me a Webflow master. I'm just a fan, and because I'm a fan, I want to show people how to also become fans of this tool. So I want to share and teach people my knowledge. And then for some reason, people call me a master, which again, I think there's way better Webflow pros than me. But show people that you want to share knowledge. And usually that helps you get more jobs, which the fourth tab right here. Am I covering? No, my camera was covering it, huh? So here we go. You got tutorial section, and then you have the hire me section. So after I get the public board working, or public profile, job boards will be showing up. And what I want for the job boards is something different. It's going to be very video because if you have a potential client, you know that weird first step where you're like you're emailing back and forth or DMing back and forth, and like, okay, let's have a intro call, and that intro call is kind of like, can I mesh with your personality? Are you going to be a good client? And the client's thinking, are you going to be a good freelancer? And so that one first weird call, let's streamline that part. And so both parties can see an intro video at the beginning, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool. I want to work with this person. So something like that. It's coming. So yeah, that's coming soon. And what else is going on? Checking my notes. Oh, yeah. And part of the public profile is going to be the No Code Awards. So get your projects, start getting them launched, finish them up before the end of the year, because me and the Pixel Geek community team is going to launch the No Code Awards. And we already have sponsors ready to go. We have judges ready to go. We have a format, and we're locking things down. But it it's going to be very video based, so obviously, and trying to focus on the humans behind the projects rather than just the projects themselves. It's something that I see on like a bunch of award sites that it's like very unhuman. It's like you have these judges and then you have these projects. That's it. But I want to know more about how you got the project done. I want to know why your heart pushed through to launch it. All right. So get your projects ready because we got some good stuff happening. What else? Okay. So next week, FYI, it'll be a 1 hour stream. So the next stream is going to be 1 hour from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. because from 10 to 11, those who signed up for the second and third tier for the Pixel Geek community, we're having a 1 hour coaching session, private coaching session. I'll send out a Google Meet link, and then we'll meet through there for an hour. And if you need any help, you need some advice, I want to help. So that's one of the perks for being a Pixel Geek member or a Pixel Pro member. Cool. In my notes, I have some past events I was part of. I was on the Mike Locke show. I was on the Voiceflow show. I'm just going on like some sort of like talk press tour, just trying to show people the Pixel Geek community. Colleen, if you can drop the links there. And then upcoming, I'm staying awake from 10:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. to help not host, but help support this intro to web design event that is in India with Waldo, my director at Webflow. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Cool. Are we good with everything? Yeah. All right. Ooh, that's a lot of announcements. Okay, so what are we doing today? So today, I have a special guest from Circle.so. Circle.so is the chat board, or it's the what they call the Circle Spaces, where where communities can grow, and it's a very awesome no-code tool that was recommended to me by the founders of MemberStack. I told them, hey, I'm trying to make my own custom chat board, and they're like, no, have you heard of Circle.so? I was like, no. And then they sent me a link, and I was like, what? and then I checked, and they told me like, yeah, it can connect to Zapier. And when something can connect to Zapier, I was like, okay, I'm in. And you know me, when I become a fan of something, I go all in. And when I learned all the things I can do with Circle, I was like, well, this is a obvious duh. I need this, and I need to implement it, and I did it, and it was super simple. Well, simple is relative, but using Webflow, MemberSpace, and Circle, it was very, very fun to build. It's like putting Lego pieces together. So we have Rudy, who will be joining us in just a couple of moments, and then after that, the Apple Watch Series 6 came out, and every time Apple comes out with a new product, they also come out with a new landing page for that product. And so I will be trying to rebuild some of those interactions inside of Webflow, and you'll see me fail. But that's the fun of learning. So I'm going to bring Rudy. Hold on real quick. Wait, come on, computer. There we go. There we go. All right. Everything's good. Everything's good. Let's get Rudy on the screen. Rudy, hi.
Nelson, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, I had you on mute. Say that again. Sorry.
Nelson, thank you very much for having me. Great to be here, and thank you for the kind intro. We're very thankful for you choosing Circle to host your community.
Yeah. It's been a blast working inside of it. What I really love about it is that when I look at forums, things like discourse, discourse is widely used, but it still has that old legacy feel of an old bulletin board, and things can just get way out of hand and confusing and hard to find information. And then the rise of Slack and Discord. And that was fun for a while. But then if you're part of a big, giant community, and then you're like, oh, I'm sick, I can't, or I'm too busy. And then you have like 10 Slack channels and 5 Discord channels that you're a member of. You see those red dots with numbers, and you're like, nah, screw it. I'm done. I'm done here. You're not going to go through everything. You're not going to look through every single channel and try to keep up, because there could be some memes or inside jokes, and you're just reading it for the first time, and it's already 2 weeks old, and you're like, oh, that was funny. And then it's like the speed of internet. Where have you been? It's hard to catch up. And I feel like Circle is that nice middle ground, because it's like Slack, where the UI is kind of like Slack. It's like a Facebook, Instagram feed, because people know how to scroll, and they're like, you're seeing cards. Uh-oh. Echo again on my... Robo Nelson's back.
Well, I got to say, Nelson, you just took all my notes away, man. I got nothing to say after that.
Sorry.
That was word for word what I was about to throw at you.
When I become a fan, I become a fan. Hold on. Hopefully this is less Robo Nelson Echo every time. I need a sound engineer to help me with these streams. I am just one person with awesome volunteers. But this is hard. Anyways, hopefully my mic is going better, stream. But before I just keep jumping into the stuff, it's like, oh, I love it. Anyways, let's learn about you. So, like, what did you do? What did you do before you got working on Circle?
Yeah, well, I think I kind of sound similar to yourself. So I've been hanging around on the web for almost 20 years now. Started off as a self-taught web designer, and self-taught's a little bit of a funny phrase. I don't think anyone's kind of self-taught ever. A big shout out to the thousands of developers out there who've put out blog posts and Stack Overflow posts and tutorial videos. That's how I learnt. And this was way back when on Microsoft Front Page, and
Oh,
people were building websites with tables. I don't know if anyone
yes.
remembers that.
Hey, I'm from the GeoCities days.
Yeah, there you go. So that's when I started, and I started at the crest of a beautiful wave, which was the end of tables and the start of CSS. So that's way back when. And yeah, just kind of fell in love with the putting puzzles together on the internet and building websites, and just started basically doing web design, and that. Picking up clients here and there, had to do everything, had to do the development, had to do the design, and using WordPress, Drupal, all
Oh,
these old open
yes.
course, open source, excuse me, platforms. Expression Engine. Does anyone remember that? I had a
I've
crack
heard
at
of it, but that scares me.
that. So basically doing that, I did a few productized services. So I was doing some of the first like PSD to HTML services. People would send me a PSD for like $150. I'd turn it into a single page of
There you
code,
go.
and this is even before responsive. So this is before responsive design. So
Huh.
that kind of led into starting an agency back in Australia, and
Uh-huh.
very small, outsourcing, me running the agency, and just was very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time, and got some really massive clients, and some really interesting learning experiences, and at one point I said that wasn't for me, having big clients and sort of being stuck 9 to 5, need to be there if the phone rings. I was always in web design for the flexibility of it,
Yeah.
and choose my own adventure and that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so at some point I kind of just gave that all up and started from scratch. And that's when I kind of got into more of getting back to like productized services. So niche little businesses, being very specific, working with course creators, so building a business specifically for that, and then also sort of having these different landing pages that chopped up my expertise into very specific niche directions. And then did 6 months in New York with Teachable, and we'll get to that, how we got into Circle and all that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
my two co-founders are very early employees from Teachable. They were, and that's how we all met. And long story short, about a year ago, started working on Circle one day a week, or just over a year ago, and then we went full time in January, and now we're here.
Wow. That's an awesome story. Congrats. So there's this one part of your story that it's always scary for people to jump from something they already know and that is working fine into something completely different or like starting from scratch. And it was something that you touched on just a little. So you grew your own agency at the beginning.
Correct.
But then what made you say, you know what? I'm done. I'm jumping and let me do something new. Like what?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I allowed myself to get into a kind of a lifestyle structure while it was fantastic, and I was having a great time, and I was relatively successful. Um, I just got into a place where I just thought there was a little bit more that I could be doing with my life in terms of possibly travel, experiences. And I've always been a little bit of a free bird, wanting to get out.
Yeah.
I traveled a lot of Europe as a youngster and did different things. And so found myself sort of getting a little bit stuck, for want of a better term. And I mean, on paper, everything I was doing was fantastic, but it just really wasn't making me happy. I wasn't super passionate about what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so I kind of decided just to wind it down, and that was an interesting process as well. Had a company and doing quite well, and had a bunch of clients that I kind of had to say, hey, it's been nice, but I'm going to go do something else. And then effectively just started from scratch, jumped on a plane and went to Asia. So started living in Bali and traveling around Southeast Asia and that kind of thing. And I'm not really the digital nomad type. Like, I don't like to get on a plane every 2 weeks. I kind of like to stay somewhere 3 months or 6 months and get into a bit of a routine. And so I did that, and yeah, kind of like, okay, I've got this expertise that I've built up. and I can slice and dice it in many ways. I could teach, I could consult, I could build products, etc. And chose to run it a bit more flexible. And ultimately, that was a great decision and a very happy one. It allowed me to sort of fill in the downtime with some really fantastic experiences.
Nice. Well, congrats on jumping and then finding a good place to land. I mean, you landed in Bali, so so yeah. I mean, were you at all nervous once you were like, for instance, when you're calling your clients? Like, did you hand over your agency to someone else who worked, or did you just completely shut it down?
I tried to facilitate a handover to other providers and stuff like that.
Mm.
But I don't know about nervous. I think there was a lot of excitement around it. I've
Mm.
been fortunate to grow up in a family that has always basically told me you can do whatever you want and we'll back you.
Oh, that's nice.
That kind of infused my personality. And I'm kind of the person that thinks, okay, I want to do what I want in this lifestyle, and I back myself. And so that also comes after 10 plus years of trading the boards and grinding and learning and getting a lot of confidence about the expertise, so that we
Yeah.
could just shut it down and start it up in a different form, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And during that time, just you can't do anything alone. Just a really fantastic network of people around me, really confidence building, and I would say that's a major part of success for a lot of people, is that network that you surround yourself with. Always being conscious of the people in your network. Are they helping or hurting? Are they positive or negative? And really fortunate just to build a great bunch of people around me over the years who've really backed me as well and given me solid advice, and people from all walks of lives and different ages,
Yeah.
successful, non-successful, and willing to share their stories as well. And if
Yeah.
you can really soak that up and help yourself with that advice, you can go places, I think.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I mean, you hear it all the time. It's cliched, but it's the truth. It's not much of what you do, but who you know.
I think so, and some people are very fortunate to just to be dropped into those kind of
Yeah.
networks, families and or maybe even with their schooling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think you can proactively build those networks, seek out those kind of people, and also have a bit of courage to reach out and take what you want in life, grab what you want, ask for it at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
If you
follow
don't
that
ask, you
path.
don't get.
That's right, and I think if I was to give some advice to maybe younger people, maybe you try and start that path as soon as possible before you go down a 10, 20-year journey of getting stuck into a certain path, and you get a ton of responsibilities and a ton of bills that you've built up and all this kind of thing. Try and find that maybe early on and get into that groove as soon as possible is a great way to do it, because it's hard to change lanes in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Good tips, good tips. So now going into your role at Teachable, where you found where you and the other co-founders first met. Can you tell us what is Teachable, and then your story how you three met?
Sure. So Teachable is an online course platform, a very big online course platform out there. So you can just sign up and create a course very easily. I actually met one of the co-founders, Sid, in Melbourne before that, in Australia. I was helping do a bit of disaster recovery at a big ad agency and staffing out their digital team. And I met Sid through that, and he was just a great young guy and waiting for his green card to head back to America. And a couple of years later, he joined Teachable back in New York, and he returned the favor and invited me over. And that's when I went over to Teachable and worked in New York for 6 months. And that's where I met the other co-founder, Andy, who was the head of growth. So Sid was head of product at Teachable. Andy was head of growth. And I was in there helping with a bit of the front end development and design and stuff like that. And so I spent 6 months in there, and then I dipped out and basically turned around and started a course business, just helping course creators and getting very specific with my expertise and helping top-end course creators with their engagement and with their design and stuff like that. And that's kind of how we get to Circle at the end of the day. Sid and Andy ended up leaving Teachable, and about a year or so ago, we were brainstorming, taking all of our collective insights about working with creators. We're very passionate about the creator movement, very passionate about the no-code movement, and looking at the pros and cons of the scene the way it is now, and just saying, well, how can we empower creators more? Looking at things like engagement. There's a bit of a what would you call it, like a black hole with engagement. You've got these fantastic course platforms and courses of videos and learning, and you've got some platforms out there, exactly like you said, like Slack and Facebook groups, and you've got this stack that a creator has, but there's a lot of drop off in the middle of the stack. How do you get someone to go here and purchase? How do we get someone to go there and engage and discuss, etc.? So we looked very specifically at this and started to jam, and that's where we came with Circle, something that we were super excited about, helping empowering creators to really have a good crack at engagement and build strong memberships and audiences. Strong connections.
So did this idea come while all three of you were still at Teachable, or was this something that all three of you jumped off of Teachable and said, you know what, this is what we need to do?
No, long time after Teachable, actually. So I was at Teachable in 2016, and Sid and Andy have been there for a long time. Sid left probably 2 years ago at this point, something like that. And we were on a family holiday together in Portugal, and that's where the inception of this came about. And basically, Sid and I have been always very sort of in line with our thinking about product, about design, about UX, and all these kind of things. And so we got together and said, okay, let's do something here. And what we did is said, let's spend 1 day a week. We dedicated 1 day a week to just jam sessions. And and that evolved into something very specific. And Andy joined in as well at that point, and the three of us started to really hone down on what it was going to be and what it was going to look like, and the very specific position it was going to take in amongst the creator stack, and how we could, you mentioned Zapier and integrations, how we could be part of this stack and sort of be the focal point for the creator stack and bring all those discussions together.
You mentioned that you wanted to help be part of the no code movement, and that's a huge thing that's now building up more and more. When was the first time you learned about this no code movement, and how did that start to play into Circle?
I've been following Webflow for a very long time, and probably like very, very early on. I don't know. I can't even think how many years Webflow been around now. Do you know off the top
7.
of your head? And were they using the term no code at the very beginning?
No, that it was. No. It was just at the beginning. It was, here's a landing page builder.
Yeah. So I've been a huge fan of the no code movement since the very beginning, and I've watched it form, and it's just picking up huge speed now, which is fantastic. I think anything that really empowers people who don't have certain skill sets to come online and build businesses. I mean, especially you see the way the world heading now. I think there's going to be a huge shift to everyone moving their business online if they hadn't already got that idea over the last 30 years. I think it's just crucial now. So to see all these platforms come about, Webflow, Airtable, Zapier, it's just fantastic to be able to spin up, literally spin up businesses over a weekend, and not have to dive into any code, or not have to get too deep into the weeds to be able to do that. I think it's an incredible time. Like entrepreneurs think. I often talk to people and they think they have an idea and they think, it's probably already been done and it's too late. And I think this is just the very beginning of a whole new wave, and it's just couldn't be a more exciting time to be building businesses and to be starting something.
Yeah. I feel like those three type of mindsets, you, Sid, and who's your other co-founder?
Andy,
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, like that's like what is needed to create a prototype. And what you all three have done, and I spoke about this at the beginning, was you found that middle ground of Slack, Facebook, and discourse. And when was the first moment when like when you went alpha or beta and then people started to use it, the early adopters? Was there a moment in that time where you're like, I think we got it?
So I think we uh, we started with ideation and stuff like that in June. I think we wrote our first
Mm.
line of code for this specific thing that we're doing, Circle, in October. We got funded in January, first customer in Feb, the end of January funding, first customer Feb. And I think we were always super confident early on about this position. There needs to be something here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, when you raise some money and you've got people, it was really interesting around the start of the year. There was just a bit of a wave of uh, conversation around the topic of community
Yeah.
in the Twitter sphere and places like this. It was
Yeah.
just it seemed like out of nowhere. Everyone was asking, "Where's this tool? What's happening?" And we were just really fortunate that we'd been building something for months already, and we were actually far ahead and on that path. And so, around that time, it's never really a moment where you say, wow, okay, this is it, we're onto something. We were super confident beforehand.
Nice.
But as time grows, we can see, okay, this is really evolving into something really nice, and the feedback and the validation from the customers and people like yourself is just really fantastic. Gives us a lot of confidence, and we're really grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, was there any moment in time during the building of Circle that it felt like, no, this is not gonna go well, but we should just still go for it, because there's no story that's perfect. So where was that
Yeah,
hesitation?
I don't know if there was a moment like that.
Oh.
I mean, not to say everything's perfect either. I mean, we've been extremely fortunate in the last 12 months about where we've gotten. But I wouldn't say there's a moment where we doubted what we were doing at all. Like, we're very bullish, we're very uh, confident in what we're doing.
Nice.
So it wasn't like, oh, is this really going to work or anything like that. I think when you're trying to build something like this, there's always challenges. There's decisions to be made, forks in the road everywhere. Just building features. All right, what's the early prototypes going to
Yeah.
be versus the roadmap, and lots of conversations about, okay, what's the actual roadmap? What's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And those are really exhilarating conversations, but they can also be, like, okay, what are we doing here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say doubtful. I think also the three of us have had a lot of experience in this game, over 15 years, and so I'm sure we've had hundreds of those moments in our life where we're building things. I mean, we've all built a ton of things, the three of us, so we've had a ton of those moments. But I think from the very beginning here, we were very bullish on what we were doing, for sure.
Oh, cool. Well, it really worked out. And speaking of next features, one of the things I want to know is, on your homepage, and I'll show it right now on the screen. Let me get to yeah. So on your homepage, you have a live session, and obviously, that's what I love doing things live. And it says right here on the side, it says Pro, and it has a lock. So that tells me that, okay, this is only for the people who are subscribing to a Pro plan. And so I noticed that that's not in the um, in the app yet, but
It's not native yet. Correct. It's
yes.
not native. Like, you could throw the YouTube live stream in a
Mhm.
topic, in a space. You could do it that way, or Zoom or something like that. But it's not native yet, and we are definitely heading in that direction, for sure.
Nice. I think that's going to be super awesome to have, especially for these communities that want to get more extra help or coaching or whatnot. Is there any other features that you can share with us that's down the line for community organizers?
Yeah, look, I think live video is a massive one, and we're super excited for that. I think there'll be some play in the events space, so tying in live videos and something to do with events. Right now, what we're working on is making everything a lot more real time. Okay, so that's a big push here, and it's interesting. At the start of the stream, you mentioned humans a couple of times,
Yes.
and this is a really big. We're not just building software to make money. We're kind of philosophical about this a little bit. Not to go too much into that as
No, I
well.
don't mind. That's
Don't
what
want to
my
sound
whole
silly
stream
about
and
it.
brand is all about.
For sure, right? So I think a big thing that drives us is making the technological sphere, the internet, a really good and engaging human experience.
Yes.
And that's why we're in this. So part of that, from a tech point of view, is to make everything real time, make it feel alive, notifications, alerts, messaging, that kind of thing. That's really big on our mind right now. We're about to drop an iOS app. Android will be not far after that.
Nice.
So really trying to get it on all the screens and make it really easy to engage.
Yeah.
Getting really deep into member profiles, the member stuff. So custom profile fields, stuff like that, the ability to build out profiles, and we get some really interesting feedback from creators. Lots of creators want the community to be more of a networking place, and so
Yes.
members to match with themselves, find themselves easily. And it's interesting that kind of feature is requested by creators all in all different walks of life. Language teachers, all the way through to entrepreneurial communities. All this kind of networking and matching and even finding someone just to talk to on the platform. All right, I want to find someone in my part of the world or my age group or whatever that might
Yeah.
be. So definitely going deep into the member profiles and stuff like that. And I won't give away too much of what's happening in the future, but
Yeah.
we're really super pumped about the product, and we love to ship. So all we want to do is ship all day long features.
You're builders.
And and that's what we want to do. We're a product first company, very sort of in love with product and design and all this kind of thing. So that's how we roll.
Awesome. And you mentioned that a lot of people are like asking, "Where's the community?" And I think that's being asked for a lot more now because of COVID and people being in lockdown and not being able to go out. Yeah. Oop, I'm getting feedback. Yeah, not being able to go out as much and go with a group of people and just meet. Like meetups are done, everything's virtual, and so how do we bring back the humans at least in some way? And you and your team are helping. You're helping with that movement, so thank
We
you.
hope so. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So where can people find more information about you, or if there's anything else you'd like to plug before I let you go?
Yeah, so you can find us on Twitter. It's at Circle App. You can find the website at Circle.so. And yeah, we'd obviously love to meet all the creators out there. We're trying very hard to make this as flexible and as feature rich and powerful for all the creators out there, no matter what they're doing, no matter what type of business, whether it's an online course business or a YouTuber, an Instagrammer, or I think you're the exact prototype, man. You're on YouTube, you're doing videos, you've got a multi-tiered community, so easy platform to help monetize different levels of exclusivity and all this kind of thing. And we'd love to meet y'all.
Yeah, thank you. And again, the Circle works with, and what I love about it, again, it works with Zapier, and it has
Absolutely.
single sign-on with MemberStack. That part just like,
Absolutely.
yo, that you sign up once on Webflow MemberStack, and then it just connects with Circle. Of course, that's a
Absolutely.
win for the Webflow
Yes.
community. So
SSO, MemberStack, MemberSpace, WordPress. We're doing it all.
all the things. Thank you so much for being on the stream, and congrats on the launch. And you're welcome back at any time. If you have anything new to feature or launch, we would love to have you back, or at least come by our chat board. I think you know how to get there. you,
Absolutely.
I think you have access, but yeah. Thank you so much, and again, congrats to your team.
All right. Thank you very much, Nelson. Thank
My
you again.
pleasure. Bye
Cheers.
bye. All right. Um, that was fun. Learned a lot. Yeah, it seems like it was a labor of love. They I like them because you can tell they're all about the humans, and that's what I'm all about. I'm like, let's bring back the humans in this virtual world that we're stuck in right now. So yeah. What's next? Yeah, check out Circle.so. And if you're building a community, that's the place. That's the place. Again, it's like in between Slack, Discord, Facebook, and Discourse. Yeah, so if you smash those all together, what's that middle ground? It's Circle. So check it out now. Is there any sound engineers here? Like I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to sound. I want it to be better for all of you. I am so sorry that this sucks, but that's the way I go. I do things live and I fail and I learn in real time. So the sound is great now because we're not using we're not using Zoom. So maybe I should try something else than Zoom. What's next? Let's build some stuff. Let's do things. Yeah. Did you hear about this? Apple came out with a new watch, and it can spin by itself. No, I'm just kidding. No. Whenever Apple comes out with a new product, they also have a new landing page. And when it comes to web designers and designers in general, we always like to go, ooh, amazing. And so as I scroll down after that intro video, you have parallax scrolling, and then you have this red overlay, but it's radial gradient, and then it just goes up, and then you have it looks like an upside down UFO or something from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. But then you scroll down. And so this is what I want to do. I want to try to do this sticky and then zoom in and then have that video zoom in at the same time. And then there's like two pieces of content and then it unstickies. And if we have time, we'll do this sticky right here and zoom into an image that is in a box. And if we still have time, I want to show you this is actually HTML5 video tag, and it only plays when you get to it, and it's not a scroll into view type of interaction. I found JavaScript to make this happen, and I want to share that with you all. And if we still have time, we'll do this one. So yeah, we probably won't have time, but I'll go as fast as I can and learn right in front of your faces. But yeah, so here's what I got so far. I learned that when inspecting this website, I learned that this background, all their videos, either use Canvas or is separate JPEGs. And with Webflow, you cannot use Canvas and you cannot animate separate JPEGs. You kind of can, but that would be so hard to do inside of Webflow interactions. So what I did was I downloaded all of these JPEGs right here. Each one of these, as I scroll, is a JPEG. And I just merged them all into one Lottie JSON file. So Lottie file. So if I preview, that's a Lottie file. So as you can see here, boom, Lottie. All right. And then I also found the URLs to these MP4s. So yeah, that one is here. And I also found one down here. All right. And then I found this JavaScript. I Googled it and I messed with it. And this is the thing that will play the video when I scroll this into view. So yeah. So if we have time, we'll get through many things. If not, maybe we can extend it to another stream. But let me check chat. We good? Welcome back, Mohammed. Welcome back, Steven, Texas from Marine. Marine from Texas. My brain. Mark is back. Welcome back. All right, here we go. Let me just let me just create a new section. Command E. I did Command R. Let's try it again. Command E. Section. Put that at the top. Okay, so what we're trying to do is this part right here. So I'm gonna make a sticky section, and it's gonna do that. All right, so let's go ahead and make this box. I don't know how big this box is. I'm just freestyling right now. So let's make this section black background. And in it, I have a div block, and this is going to be a row 1 container. Cool. And row 1 container is going to be margin auto on both sides, so that way it's centered horizontally. And I'm going to give it a max width of, I'm guessing, 1200 pixels. Yeah, whatever. And oh wait, the background is like a gray. All right, so let me get this section, give it a gray, something dark gray like that, and take this row container and make sure it's black. There we go. Cool. And so let's put this Lottie file in here. But I need some, okay, we need to play around with sticky. So whenever you play around with sticky, it needs to have a parent that is position relative. So you would go to position relative. All right, cool. And then inside of there, I need to put another div, and we're going to give it a class of sticky, and then let's give it a position of sticky and set this top to 0. And I'm going to drag this Lottie animation into sticky. Cool. So sticky's not going to work yet. That's fine. But if, let me see here. If I set this row container to something crazy like a height of 300 VH, will this stick? Yes, it's sticking. Cool. Cool. So row 1 container has the position relative and the height of 300 VH. Cool. Now, let's see what happens. So if I preview it, it's going to autoplay. We don't want that. What we want is as we're scrolling down, that's when it plays. It's going by the scroll position. So I'm going to target row 1 container and go here to the interactions and add an element trigger, and we'll do while scrolling in view. All right. And then on scroll, I'm going to play a custom animation, and I'm going to create an animation right there. So we have our timeline. We're going to call this Lottie 1. You can name it whatever you want. And now we're going to target the Lottie animation. I'm going to press plus on the scroll, actions, and we're going to go integrations, Lottie. Cool. So Webflow gives you 2 keyframes, 2 actions immediately. What happens at the top of the div? What happens when you get to the bottom? So at the top of the div, the animation, the Lottie animation down here is at 0. But at the bottom of the div, we're going to advance it to the end. Okay, not the very end, because I don't want a black screen. There we go, 97%. So if I preview this and drag this down, now I have control. Pretty cool. So if I preview and I scroll, There we go. Easy. I know it's not exactly like this because they've added other things. For example, this is actually a static JPEG and then it somehow switches to the video and starts to zoom in. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do a zoom in. Hold on. Let's take that Lottie animation and let's can zoom out. Wait, but hold on. I wonder if this Lottie animation is that the real? Does it really cut off right there? I don't know. Hold on. Let me try something. Can I make the width like 700? No, there's not. It actually cuts off there. Well, I'm just showing you the tricks. I don't know what Apple did. If I did, I'd be working there. But okay. Oh, it's not starting at 0. There we go. It's not starting. I have to start this later. Let's go 50% because I'm already looking at the thing. There we go. That's what I want. All right, cool. We have that, and I feel like this also needs to be sticky. Or is it? Well, let's just keep going. And now we have 2 pieces of text. And so let me make sure that this lot animation, it needs to be stuck on the back. Can I set it to absolute? Will it hurt anything? Doesn't seem like it. Maybe. Sticky. I'm setting this to sticky as well, 0 pixels. Doesn't. Okay, cool. It moves up because it was crashing into the video below. All right. So if that's sticky, can I add some more divs on top? I'm just sticking everything. Sticky content. Wait, no. I need to put some content. So what I'm trying to do right now is this side right here, the left side of words, of content. And so what I'm going to do is, let's make this with 50%. And let's push it away from the right, or sorry, left. And we're just going to add some sort of heading, say H3, and a paragraph. Let's go ahead and make sure that the text here is white. All right. Watch me fail. So I need this to go on top of this, but earlier. And that's why I'm like kind of confused right now. Because I don't want it to... Maybe this needs to be bigger. Let's go 500 VH. Okay. I'm going to put you on top of there. And this probably doesn't have to be sticky. Maybe it can be absolute. The reason why is because I'm trying to put this div block of text on top of this. So let's make this sticky on top. There we go. I wonder. Let's make this div block really tall. So what I'm trying to do is this has to stay fixed. But I don't want to use fix because fix is going to the body, not the actual div. Watch Nelson fail. That's what this stream's all about. Oh man. So if I preview, this is not going to do what I want. And it's not doing the animation. Oh, because we're at 50%. Oh, I'm sweating here. Can't even do this first one. In my head, I thought I could. Okay, that still works. I wonder, how do you get the text inside, on top of this? That's what I'm wondering. Maybe it's not supposed to be sticky. Okay, maybe. I need you to scroll down, please. I need this to like scroll up. Oh, is it because it's inside the sticky? Hold on. Oh, I think I got it. There it is. Okay. I don't know what I just did. But I'm gonna just keep going with it. Let's see. Can I, instead of absolute, can it be just, okay, it can't be static. But if I scroll down, okay. All right. So what I've learned, let me just make sure. So what I learned is that this div block right here, we're going to call it content container. So this div block right here needs to be position absolute. All right. So this is position absolute with a z index of 1. So it's on top of the Lottie file. All right. This Lottie file is inside of a sticky container. This doesn't need to be sticky. This content doesn't need to be sticky. So that's why it works when it's not inside of the sticky div. Okay, so this sticks, this doesn't. Duh. Now, this Lottie animation needs to stick because we need it to do its animation while we scroll. So as we scroll down, there we go. Okay. Cool. So this content container, let's go ahead and just put these two in a div so it's more clean. So all I have to do is just take this. Let me take this content container, remove the padding on top. All right, so for this, we can just say content block, and this will have a margin on the top of like 100 VH. So it goes like that. So it passes by. And then we can take this content block and paste it again. And so it's like 1, 2, go. I knew what I was doing, as he says, yeah, right, under his breath. So here we go. 1, 2, and we still have the animation going. It's a very choppy one, but it's one that works for us. Let me see if I can remove this height. Let's see if this works. Cool. I broke it. All right, so I'm going to leave the height and figure out life. Let's make this slotty animation 100 VH. I'm not sure why that's not why I have letterboxing. I can cheat by making it scale, but let's see if this works. All right, cool. All right, so that's what we learned. All right, let me recap. We learned this together. We have a section. This section is what holds, this is our row, okay? Our row container has a height of 500 VH. You can play around with this height. This is just how slow or how fast your animations will happen, because this is what is also causing the stickiness. And VH means viewport height. So if I set it to 300, it should work. It should animate a little bit smoother. Yeah, there we go. And it's a lot less for me to scroll down to. And this also has position relative, because this is what sticky will stick to. So if you have a sticky position as a child of this element and it has no relative, it's going to stick to the body, or it's not going to work at all. So you need a position relative on something that is the parent of a sticky. The sticky is what sticks. And so that's what I'm talking about. This is now relative to whatever it has the relative position. And you got to make sure that you set it to 0 or whatever number you want, because when it gets to the top, that's the 0, that's when it's going to stick. You can set this to a higher number if you want. If you want to add some margin, so it'll stick right there, as you can see this gap, or you can set it to 0. There we go. Now, how we got this content box working is we set this to position absolute, so it's on top of the watch. All right, it's on top of the Lottie file, and we put it on top using position absolute and z index. And with position absolute, just like sticky, it's looking for its relative. So a parent div needs to have position relative. If it doesn't, then this position absolute will just target, it'll be relative to the body tag. All right, so yay, we figured it out. And you'll be able to clone this whole project at the end of the stream, so you can play around with it, or you can make it better and say, hey, Nelson, I found a better way to do it. I would like to learn from you, or you can use it for a future client project. I mean, hey, it's yours. Do whatever you want. What's next? Okay, so we learned how to do that. Kinda. So let's do another interaction where we have sticky on the right. This one should be easier because it's in a grid and it's not overlapping anything. So we have sticky on the left, and then on the right, we just have content moving up. And at the same time, we have an image that is moving in, that's scaling in. So how do we do that? I don't know. Let's learn. All right, section. Let's go. All right, so this section, let's go ahead and give it the same color. Actually, no, let me just give it the same class name. Section, cool. And let's give it a row. Oops. Let's give it a div and row 1 container. All right, so row 1 container, again, is position relative. And actually, no, we can... Wait, brain thinking. Okay, cool. Thank you, brain. So we can leave it as... We could rename this to row container. That's fine. All right, so in here, I really don't like using Flexbox for columns. It just takes way too much time to make one row with 2 columns. What's easier than that? Command E, type grid, press enter. You're done. You have 2 columns, 2 rows. You can even delete one of the rows. Flexbox. You're not that fast. So there you go. And you can also play around with the gap too. So let's do 32 on the columns for the gap. Boom, done. Cool. Let's go ahead and do they have other color? Oh wait. Oh, they flipped the background color. All right, this section 2, and this is gonna be black, and this one right here. So each grid element, so I'm gonna put a div. We're gonna call this row 2 image holder. So this is gonna hold our image, and this is going to have a background color of that. And then we're gonna put another div. And then we're going to call this row 2 content, and we're going to give it the same background color. You know what? Why do I have to copy and paste that? I need to make a swatch. Cool. Done. This one right here, let's just give some padding. There we go. Cool. 42. Because that's the answer to everything. All right, so image holder. I have an image here. There we go. I'm going to drag this in. 1.1 megs. Dang. I'm going to drag in this. Cool. All right. But they have it smaller, right? Yeah. So cool. Actually, okay, so it stops Let me see here. The grid. Let's do this. The section, I'm not going to put a padding on the top because it feels like, in my head, it feels like this is like 100 VH and then the grid has padding on the top and bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove this. Remove this. And this grid is going to be, the height is going to be 100 VH, but with padding right here. Let's make this 100% of its parent. I don't think that worked. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Which wouldn't be the first time. All right. I'm going to just undo those. And I'll explain everything once we figure it out together. All right. So this is going to have a bunch of content. Let's just copy this content block right here. And paste it here. Why is it that color? Oh, okay. So this content block, but I'm going to duplicate the class and call it row2 content. The reason why, because I don't row2 content block. Okay. The reason why is because I don't want the margin 100. There we go. I want it at the top. This row2 content. Let's make sure all text inside of it is white. Put some padding on all sides. Okay, cool. So this content block, let's just add some like padding or margin on the bottom, like 50 VH. So something like that, 2 paragraphs, and then copy paste. So it's 1, 2. Let's add a third one. Why not? Okay, so now we have some scrolling action going. Okay, but because of scrolling, I want to make sure that this is sticky. So what you need to do is this grid right here, because this grid is a parent of this row2 image holder. This needs to be position relative. Cool. And now that position is relative, I can take this image 2 holder and set it to sticky. And this is 0. I'm guessing this is not going to work, and I think I know why. Yep, it didn't work. So if you ever use grid and you're trying to use sticky and you're like, wait, how come it's not sticking? I've set position relative. It's because, all right, pro tip, your grid has a default of stretch. You need to set the grid to align start, align it to the top. All right, when that happens, the sticky works. Why does this happen? Because if you stretch it, look how tall the left column is compared to the right. Both of them are stretching as tall as each other. So sticky is not going to work because the sticky is like, hey, I'm just as tall as my friend here. So I don't have to stick. So we're cool. But if you align top on the grid, then you get the stickiness because the left side is shorter than the right. And so there you go. All right. Okay, let's do something with this. Let's make the height of this shorter, like 300 pixels or something. Let's say 90 VH. Let's do something like that. And do overflow hidden. Cool. Can this, let's see here. Can we start the margin to be like negative 50% of itself? I don't know if this is possible. Ooh, okay. Because I want it to be kind of centered. And then we're going to zoom into that, that crown. So maybe 14. I don't know where 14 comes from, but we'll do it like that. Okay. So now that I have my image set up, my content ready to go, it's time to do some interactions. I want to zoom in to the crown. Let's get the row container, I'm guessing. row container, and we'll set an element trigger while scrolling in view. Play scroll animation. Create a new one. We're going to call it watch zoom to crown. And zoom out. And we're going to target this image. At 0%, we're going to scale it to 1, which is its original size. And then at 100%, we're going to scale it 1.7. Taking a guess. But also we need to move it. So at 0%, I'm going to set a move on the transform. So we're going to start at 0, 0 down here. 0, 0. So 0 on the X, 0 on the Y. And then we're going to do another move transform. And now we can move it. And I like to use percentages instead of straight pixels. So you can change to percent. Change to percent. And then we start moving things around. Let's move it that way. Let's move it that way. Something like that. Like, hey, it's a crown. Oh, because we set it to percent here, we're still seeing the caution symbol. And what this caution symbol means is like, hey, something's wrong with this animation. And the reason why is because I'm using percent on this keyframe, but on this one, I'm using pixels. So if I scroll down here, it's still set to pixels. So I need to make sure I'm using the same units on both keyframes. All right. So now that caution symbol's gone. I scroll down. That thing is still working. That zoomed in really slow. Let's make it faster. All right. So I'm going to hold shift and click on both. We'll start this one at 20, and then this one's going to end at, like, let's say 60. This is the part of animation where it's like timing. It's up to you how you want your timing to happen. There we go. Hey, Tim Cook. Hi. This can be done in Webflow. You should tell your team to use Web... No, I'm just kidding. They're doing a wonderful job with their websites. But if they want to look into Webflow, hey, Tim, if you want to call, I can show you the beauty of it. Actually, there was some Apple designers at this one conference that Vlad spoke at. And I helped Pablo Stanley. He did a Webflow workshop, and I was helping assist him. And there's these two or three Apple designers there, and I showed them what I built in Webflow. I did show them one of the Apple pages that I recreated in Webflow, and they're like, I didn't know you can do that. And I was like, yeah, it's really cool. But I doubt that they're using it right now. But hey, if they're using it for prototyping, that would be cool too. But Tim, give me a call. All right, moving on. Cool, we did 2 things in 30 minutes. 40 minutes. 35? One of those things. But yeah, let's go. What's next? What did I have? Oh, cool. These videos. So watch this. I'm going to scroll all the way back up. I'm going to play the video, refresh. Check this out. As I scroll down, it's an HTML5 video. So usually HTML5 videos, they play on their own. Even if the element is not visible on the screen, you haven't even got there yet as you're scrolling down, it will play. But I saw that when you're scrolling down on this page, the video doesn't autoplay until you get there. So I'm going to go down, going down, and then boom, the video starts to play. All right. And I was like, how do you do that? And then this is actually just a JPEG. The video is right here on the right. And as you scroll down, the video plays. I don't know if I'll be able to do this part, but I know I can do this part right here. I'll show you how, and I'll show you the custom code. So it's gonna be really cool. All right, check it out. Let's just do another section. Section. Cool. In this one, we're gonna call it section, so we get that color back. We'll add another div for container. Nope, that's not the one I want. Row container. Cool. But I don't want it that tall. So let's duplicate the class and call it row3 container. And I don't want that height. Cool. We're good. And let's add some padding. Cool. And let's drag this HTML embed into the row3 container. All right. So this HTML embed, this HTML embed is just a HTML5 video tag. Okay. And it's just video, and it's pulling the video from Apple's web servers. All right. Super simple. You can find it in the clonable project when I'm done today. All right. However, if you don't have this JavaScript, here, let me turn off the JavaScript. Let's see here. And turned it off. Publish. Let me show you the ending state. So the ending state of this is a 3-second video. This big bubble is in the center. That's how you know the video's done. All right. So if I go here to my version, yay, that works. Yay, that's broken. Why? I don't know. But look at, oh, the video doesn't even play. Yeah. So the video's not even playing. The bubble, the big bubble on this side didn't even go. I have to right click, show controls, and then press play. Okay, so how do I make this play on its own, but only when I scroll into view? Webflow doesn't have that. Webflow doesn't have an interaction to say, hey, video, play while scrolling to view. Maybe they can add it later. That'd be really cool. But for now, here's this cool JavaScript that I found, and I want to give big props to this person who made this JS Fiddle. We'll say his name is... there we go. So credit to Alex Tade from Greece for making this JavaScript. So I took the JavaScript and I customized it a little. Oop, no, I want to leave his link there. Cool. So I customized it a little, and I'm not going to explain everything line by line. I'm just going to take a grouping of lines and explain a little bit. So this is just saying, hey, when the page is ready, do something. Cool. So when everything is loaded, do something. Now, as the person is scrolling, figure out where the video element is on the page, and then keep figuring out if the user has scrolled into that position yet. All right. So each time your scroll wheel clicks down, it's doing this function. It's doing this thing, like it's doing a check. Are you there yet? Are you there yet? So it's that annoying kid in the back of the car who's asking, are we there yet? Every time you scroll up or down. So are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? But once the here, this is the scroll function. This is the are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Once we are there, then we can say, hey, for each of the videos that are on the web page right now, check if we're there yet. And if we are there, then play the video. And what I've added is make sure that this video doesn't have a class name of played. If it does play, then we're going to add a class saying, okay, this played, because I don't want it to replay every time we scroll up or down and we're looking at the video. All right. So this is This is the magical JavaScript. So if you have any videos that your clients or you would like to not play until they get to until it scrolls into view, this is the thing. And so yeah, I published it. Let me refresh, and you can refresh too on your screen. There we go. I don't know what's happening here. That's making me a little bit but watch. Boom. Now it's playing, and then stop. Cool. Done. And same thing with this one. Yeah. Look at that. We did 3 things really fast. Except for that. Okay, what are you doing? What is this? All right, let me see here. Maybe it's because it's lazy load. Let me just do that. Uh-oh. Oh, look at that Webflow bug. I can't close you. Oh, if I do that, yeah, that makes sense. If I scroll up. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's because it was position sticky. All right, so let me refresh and try it. Refresh. Yay, okay, cool. Cool. Sweet. All right. Since it's 11:26, I'll go ahead and start looking at the questions from you all. Hopefully you've learned something. Of course, I'm going to make a stream clip of these, just the parts where I'm explaining how to do this, but yeah, hopefully those 3 tips were very valuable to you. But yeah, there's probably a couple of questions. Let's see here. All right, feedback about the Apple build. Thanks for the thorough explanation. Okay. Oh, no problem, Steven. All right, comment about the watch video. I feel I can kind of know how you can get the watch part. You can put it. You can actually create that one in After Effects export as JSON. Oh yeah, the bubble watch part. You can also make it as JSON, huh? Oh yeah. Would it be better if it was JSON? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. You can actually convert MP4 by dragging it into After Effects and exporting it with body moving. Oh no. You would do what McGuire on the Webflow University video says. You can export. You break up a MP4 as JPEGs, put that into After Effects, and then yeah. So yeah, you can do it that way. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, good idea. Let's see here. Timothy is saying, I've been posting questions in chat. Okay, cool. Timothy, if your question's already been answered, awesome. But if not, go ahead and post in chat right now. And also, if you have any websites you would like for me to review, I'd be more than happy to look at it right now and give you my honest opinions. Mohammed is asking, "Hi there. Hi there. A question I always have in my mind. Can you please answer? Every time I build, I am pretty much confused. So am I. That's how I start every project. I'm confused, and I just do my best to Google everything. Pretty much confused with the dimensions and pixels in VH, VW, and all. Can you please tell? How can I figure out how I can choose dimensions? Like, is percent what I want, or VH, VW, or pixels? I actually have a video explaining all of that. I have 2 videos explaining that. So, rather than repeat what's on the video, I'll find a link and post it in chat. But basically, VW is viewport width. What the browser width is. VH is the browser height. Percentages is the percent of its parent. And I explain all of that in those 2 videos. So which one should you use? It depends on your layout. It depends on the problem you're trying to solve. I can't just give a clear cut answer because every layout, every design, every problem is different. What I can say is that when it comes to uh, responsive design, do not use pixels. Don't use straight pixels a lot because you're setting an exact size. Excuse me. You're setting an exact size when the web is very fluid. Shared in chat post from. Oh, okay. That was already answered by Pablo, and someone posts how and why to use VH and VW. Cool. All right. Yeah. Uh, Steven says, how does he get all the Apple assets together from their site? There's a way that people do it, but I forgot. Oh yeah. Um, so it's hard to find their assets. This is not very straightforward. But what I usually do is if I see something and I'm like, okay, let me right click, inspect, and I'm going to look at their CSS. And because I've done this so many times in my life, I kind of know where to look. Like this one is a background image. So if you just hover over like a link, then you're good. All you have to do is right click, open a new tab, and there you go. There's the asset. Save that. But for videos, it's harder. I was trying really hard last night to find out where is this video asset. There's no video. I don't see any MP4s here or something. I couldn't find it, and so I went to network and I refreshed, and this shows you the network tab in DevTools shows you everything your browser is loading, and so sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's hard. Uh, like for instance, this right here, if I preview, it looks like gibberish. Like what is going on here? Like I'm not that good of a developer to understand what's going on. So if I preview each of these, it's like what is this? What is this? And then you get to these and it's like, "Oh, okay." And then and so that's where I took it from. So, yeah, you can just right click any of them and then open new tab and then it's like it looks like an old school like old school game, like a 8-bit game that's still loading. Or you have to like since I'm wearing Nintendo, or you take out the controller or sorry, take out the cartridge, blow on it and then put it back into the NES system. Yeah, so that's how I find it. Right click and just do some digging. All right, so about the build. This is a follow up to the watch asset from Mohammed. You need media encoder to break the MP4. Ah, yes. Yes, you do. Webflow University has a complete tutorial on how to take movies, how to take short videos. You can't have long videos. The file size of the JSON file will be too big, but take short videos, like 3-second videos, and convert it into a Lottie file. So yeah, look for Webflow University on that. Paul says, Nelson, have you ever used Webflow in combination with Bootstrap 4? I know 2 different frameworks. Just curious. If so, do you have videos about it? No, I do not. Because Webflow has its own framework, like things for the container element, things for I think just the container element, probably some other stuff, but Bootstrap to me is just a bunch of divs that were pre-styled, and Webflow has a bunch of elements that are pre-styled, so it's the same thing. So you can't really combine the two. But what you can do with Webflow is create your own styles. You can make your own style guide. You can make your own components. And that's something that they're working on in the future, where you can componentize everything and just reuse all these components over and over with different data. So that's coming soon. But yeah, it's going to be hard for you to mesh the two. If you really want to do it, you can export your Webflow project out of Webflow, you get the basic HTML, CSS, and JS, and then put Bootstrap on top, and good luck. But yeah. Let me see here. Do I have anything? Am I missing anything? No. Okay. I caught up with all the questions. Should we end it early? Does anyone have any links? Or let me see here. Cool. All right. So, again, next week is going to be a shorter stream. I'm going to start at 11 a.m. and end at 12 p.m. Why? It's because I'll be doing a coaching session with the Pixel Geek members, the one who paid for the second or third tiers in the community. So doing a private coaching session with them. If you want to join in on that, I'll be sending a private Google Meet link that we'll be meeting at. You can upgrade your account at pixelgeek.community. This is my way of giving back as much as possible because I get a lot of questions over DMs, and I don't have much time for it. I try to answer as much as I can on the Pixel Geek community chat board. But if you want my complete attention for an hour, I am here for you. That's going to happen once a month. And so the first one ever is going to happen next Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then right after that, I'm getting on the YouTube stream again to do another shorter stream. And then after that week, I'm actually taking a much needed break. Been working really hard. What's happening on 26th? Hold on. Okay, cool. Okay, so October 3rd, no live stream. October 3rd, no live stream. So I'm just going to be taking a break. I need it. But yeah, that's it. And if you are a Pixel Geek second tier or third tier member, thank you so much for supporting the community. What I really would love is if this community can pay for itself, all the overhead of the Circle, the Zapier, the member stack. I have it written all down on the homepage of our community site of what I'm using the funds for. What I would love to do is if everything is paid off each month, why don't we give back and pay for scholarships for people that need it? Things for hey, if you want to be a MakerPad member, or if you want a subscription to Flamingo.co by Mackenzie Child, or even Ransigal's Masterclass. I want you all to learn as much as you can, and it would be cool if the community can help pay for that. And if it goes even crazier, wouldn't it be cool to donate to nonprofit organizations like Black Girls Who Code, and donate in the name of our Pixel Geek community? That would be so cool. And then even have funds for extra perks or prizes. I don't know. I have so many ideas. And to the people who are already donating to the stream, who are upgrading their membership on the community website, I thank you so much for helping us get to this path. Because like I always say, my tagline, and I'll wait for the end of the stream to say it, but yeah. Is there anything else? Amen. Hey Nelson, is it possible to link PNGs to a JSON file in Webflow, because some exported Lotties in After Effects have that? So if you go to the Webflow University Lottie file tutorial, it'll show you there's a certain button in Body Movement where you add the JPEGs into your JSON file. You don't have it linked on a subfolder. You need to add the JPEGs in the JSON file. And that's why you want to make sure that the file is really small, because what I've learned is if you try to upload something like 12 megabytes or larger Lottie file into Webflow, Webflow kind of bugs out. Like I tried 64 at one time and it bugged out. I tried 32, and then when I put like 10, it worked. So you got to compress that file or make your video as small as possible before before trying to upload it to Webflow. Okay. Um okay. Let me see. Am I missing anything, Colleen? Let me scroll down. Is it possible? Mohammed is asking, is it possible for me to create a website like an application, like a web app, just like Webflow or WhatsApp? That would be awesome to do inside of Webflow, but it's to make a full application, just like Facebook or WhatsApp. You're going to have to connect all these platforms together with like Zapier, Integromat, or Parabola. So basically, the Pixel Geek community, you can call it an app because you can have people sign in, register, pay for a subscription, talk on a chat board, and have data moving in and out of each platform without having to do a thing. So it is possible, but there is limitations. Okay, so when you say something as broad as just like Facebook has so many features. So you could probably do some. Yeah, go back to chat room. Nelson, you've earned some time off. Thank you for all your great oh, you're welcome, Mark. Yes, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Mohammed, whoa, I wish that's BMI earning $4,000, bro. My monthly bill on support and subscriptions for software is well over 4,000. It's getting insane. Oh, well, I'm glad you have the budget for that, Steven. That is insane. Cool. Mohammed, I know Nelson will miss you during his off. Yeah, I'll miss you all too. But yeah, this is a labor of love because I want to make sure that you're all getting your questions answered and making sure that you're growing and learning something new every day. I was listening to a podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson on it, and he said you should have a minimum of one mind-blowing moment every week. And yeah, mind-blowing moments are when you learn something. And hopefully you're all getting that through your weeks. Hopefully I'm providing one of those through your weeks. Because, yeah, it learn something new. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're done. I'm calling it done. So I'll see you all next week. Let me get my music going. Turn it down. Yeah. Cool. All right. So I will see you all next week at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific time, Saturday. Thank you all so much if you subscribed. Thank you all so much if you're in the live chat room or you're watching a recording. I really appreciate all the support. Please join the community. It's free. pixelgeek.community. I will see you there on the chat board in between each stream. But that's it. We're done. And thanks again for Rudy from Circle.so for being a part of today's stream. I will see you all. And as always, make the web beautiful together. See ya.